Hey there, this is Joyce Sang, content marketer and founder based in Hong Kong. I help those with an entrepreneurial mindset explore their full potential with content. For today's video, I want to deep dive into what a personal brand is and why is it important for anybody to have in order to build a successful business, side hustle, or just to explore their full passion. Now, of course, if for those of you who are new to this channel, be sure to check out my other videos as well. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and let's get to it. Now, by definition, a personal branding is when an individual has the conscious and the intention to create and influence the public perception of an individual by positioning them in a higher industrial authority to elevate their credibility. Now, with that said, what does that actually mean? Now, to me, when it comes to creating a personal brand, it really means to deep dive into your self-identity and do a bit of self-discovery. What you need to understand is not only what you're capable of doing, but also what you're good at doing, and also where your passion lies between the two so that you can find your own sweet spot. Now, with that being said, personal branding is not just about being yourself. Of course, authenticity is very important for you to use in order to tell genuine stories that will gravitate and connect yourself with other like-minded individuals. However, it's more than just being who you are. As you can imagine, one individual has a spectrum of abilities and has an array of things that they like and do not like to do. If we were to put all of that into a personal branding, it would actually become quite confusing for the audience to understand why they want to find you and why must they rely on you. What is the importance and the unique value that you can bring to them? With that being said, the way that I look at personal branding definitely resonates with the origins of branding itself. Trying to figure out the brand mission, the brand image, the brand values, the propositions, so on and so forth. So let's jump into what it makes a good branding and what are the attributes that you should be thinking about when it comes to building a personal brand. Now, according to the golden rules of personal branding by Forbes in 2018, they mentioned that having a personal branding results in the difference of people saying who you are versus thank you for being there. Now, of course, in order to create a successful personal branding, it's not about just telling people who you are and what you do. The first thing that you need to master is to be able to find your ultimate focus. Now, for somebody like me, I identify as a content marketer as well as a founder. But of course, when it comes to my identity, I encompass a lot more different things, such as being a wife, being a parent of 2 dogs, a graduate of visual arts, who loves drawing and roller skating. Now, I could have decided on these different aspects and built them into a business opportunity or a career path for me to advance into. However, I chose to really eliminate all of these different options I can tap into and focus on that one thing. Now, how do you actually find that focus? That's one of the main problems a lot of people have when they want to build their personal brand. They encompass way too much of their identity into one branding so that it actually lacks the focus and dilutes the memory point for audiences to remember them by. For myself, I always follow this one rule. Really think about what you do well and what has a demand on. Now, of course, there are a lot of things that you might do well, but the key here is, are people requiring your help on it? Now, for me, I can create stories, I can draw, I can write, I can shoot videos. However, I noticed that a lot of people only look for me for my writing skills because that's where they really need the help on. Therefore, in order for me to really tap into that demand and build my personal branding into something that they would thank me for, I wanted to focus into content creation in the aspects of writing. Therefore, for somebody like you who's also thinking about creating a personal brand, this might be an easy method for you to really think about what focus you should be highlighting for your personal branding. The second thing is, do you genuinely want to help people with your focus? Now, by that, I mean, if you're only focusing on the thing that you have selected to be a highlight of your personal brand based on the opportunity and potential of it earning you money, then your target audiences can easily tell that you're not really genuinely there for them. Now, what difference does that actually make? The main difference is you're differentiating yourself from a personal brand from just a business owner. Now, there is a distinct division between the two because when it comes to personal branding, as the name indicates, you're supposed to give people a more intimate connection so that they feel like you are on their side, that you are assisting them in achieving their goals and to provide them with a solution that is tailored to them. Therefore, when it comes to personal branding and really realizing what your focus is, you need to be genuine to yourself. Do you actually have a passion in this focus so much so that you are willing to help other people on it? Not just for the sake of money, but perhaps for a sense of fulfillment, for a sense of achievement, so on and so forth. That's also highly important when it comes to building a personal branding. Now, the third thing is, do you actually have a story to back up your focus? Now, what that means is you can't just go and tell people, this is what I do, this is what I'm great at, this is what I love, come and find me if you want my help. Now, there's a lot of other people who are doing similar things and perhaps even at a level better than you are. The fact is, the most gravitating point for anybody to resonate with your personal brand is that you have a story to back it all up. Why are you focusing on this element? Why are you helping people? What situations or circumstances or experiences have resulted in you emphasizing on this focus? What is it that really fires you up and motivates you to help people on this focus? All of these really matter and especially differentiates your personal brand not just with other personal brands, but just with companies, agencies, consultants, and people who do not have that authentic personal touch with their branding. Therefore, it's actually very important for you to go back and think about your own history, your own background. How did you acquire such skills? What accumulated knowledge do you have so that you think you are on the right level and on the right path to provide help for others? Then you have something to back up your whole focus in order to build your personal branding into a comprehensive story that is relatable, attractive, and resonates with your target audiences. So after you've figured out your focus, you know that you are truly genuine about that focus, and you have stories to back that focus up, the next part is actually the most difficult part, which is being consistent. Regardless of you being online, offline, talking to strangers, people you have known for a while, or people who know you very, very well, you have to keep that same messaging going. Your personal branding depends on you. If you don't talk about it, there's really no personal branding whatsoever. So, in order for it to be successful and for that message to be out there for those who might resonate with you, you need to be consistent. And that's not just on the fact that you need to post about your personal branding, your beliefs, your stories, your values on a consistent manner when it comes to frequency, but the subject that you talk about must be consistent. You wouldn't want to follow a personal branding that talks perhaps about content marketing and all of a sudden switches gears and goes straight into things like social media or talks about other trending news. You want that person to be a reliable rock where you can always refer to when you're looking for that specific knowledge. So therefore, for you to establish a personal brand, you also need to make sure that you're okay with consistently talking about those subject matters, that you won't run out of ideas or you won't be dried up on creativity because that relies on you. You can't just ask people for more stories to input into your personal branding. It actually has to come from you. So that's where I believe passion really comes in. For example, for me, comes to content marketing, there are so many content marketers out there who are all just talking about the same subject matter. Why should people listen to me versus other content marketers? And how am I able to upkeep my content? It really relies on my genuine interest in the subject matter. And that's what differentiates you ultimately versus your competitors or other people within the same industry. Now, with all the points that has been mentioned, you might ask, Joyce, I think you make complete sense. I understand that there needs to be a focus, to be genuine, to be consistent, to have stories. However, I'm actually very new to this focus. I don't have a lot of experiences to share. I'm not very knowledgeable or can be regarded as an authority in this focus. Then is that my real focus? Can I still build a personal branding based on that? And that comes to my last point when it comes to building a personal branding. You need to live it. So what that means is you can set out all the ideas and potentials that you think your focus can get you to without actually doing them right this moment in time. However, you need to make sure that you're living your personal branding so that you reach all these different moments, so that you accumulate all these new experiences for you to build yourself into somebody that other people perhaps look up to or rely upon when they require specific help. So that's actually the most important thing. Personal branding doesn't stop when you write them all down on a piece of paper and just tell people what you're good at, what your passion is, what you believe in, and things like that. It really needs to be activated on a daily basis. You need to go out, do research, look at things, observe, connect with other like minded individuals to further expand that library of different content that you can share with them in order to grow your personal brand. So you could be a fresh graduate or a slasher or freelancer looking for new opportunities to venture into, or somebody who has been stuck in the same industry as a full-time employee for years looking for a change. Of course, starting a personal branding is easier said than done. However, that is why I have decided to create a brand new personal branding workshop just for you. Within this 3-hour workshop, I walk through different scientific tools, qualitative measures, frameworks, step-by-step processes, and other documentations in order to help you do your process of self-discovery and land on your sweet spot, your focus into what it is that you can build a personal branding out of. Now, this workshop is not for startup owners. It's not for you to think about a business startup idea. Rather, it's really a personal self-discovery journey with me where we will be able to identify your strengths in order for you to foster them into a sturdy foundation for your personal brand. So for those of you who are interested, be sure to check out the link in the description below. Leave me any comments if you have questions about building your personal branding. I can't wait to see you all, and hopefully we can connect through the on-demand workshop.